what's up guys? It is February 12th. I got another trade recap. Today I took 2 trades. One worked out and one I mistimed a little bit. Had a good day today. So the setup I'm going to show you guys today is based off of a CVD Divergence. And honestly, this is not a trade that I'm very proud of. Yes, I saw things that make me want to take it, and it was backed with criteria and things that were happening, but this is not the type of trade I would recommend taking. And yeah, I'll explain more about that as we get into it. So to show you guys the execution real quick before we jump into the live recording, this trade lasted 7 minutes long. I risked basically 2 points and a tick. I risked 2.25 points for a 11.5 point total profit. And yeah, so I'm just going to show you guys the live recording real quick. Let me hop in CapCut. My entry was at 8:56. So I'm going to jump right around there real quick. This is me in the top left. This is my P&L here, which you're looking at. And right now, what you're seeing me do is type in my Discord. Let me minimize myself real quick. So there's my live face from the session. I record my face. So while this thing is setting up, I'm just going to explain to you guys what I was seeing. So if you look at the DOM right here, you can see there's a low volume area. It kind of like sharply drops off right where this order was, dropped off right after this 2200 lot delta. So in this very moment, I'm not really looking at too much other than I'm recognizing this area of low volume, and it did seem like we had some selling come in and react whenever price traded above that area. So yeah, like I said, at this very moment, I'm not seeing anything that makes me really want to short it, because my bias for today was actually long, and I was targeting an area where 0 contracts traded, and that was from 60.75 to 60.63. So today, what I really wanted was to get long and target up at that area, which is partly why I am saying that this is not a trade I would recommend taking, because it really was not in my plan, and it really was kind of against the trend of volume, the trend of aggressive volume, I should say. But I've reviewed a lot of past data, and the only reason I was confident in taking this was because of all the data I reviewed. So right now, in this very moment, what you're seeing is a CVD divergence develop. As by looking at the CVD, you can see price went up and retested this area at 60.54, right where that low volume begins. And you can see that was very low buying volume. So I'm going to pause it real quick, but when I look at my past data, I can see that this is always what a good CVD divergence short opportunity looks like. So what it looks like is larger aggressive sellers step in a little bit, and then we retest those sellers with very low aggressive volume. And usually that will form a CVD divergence. So that's exactly what I saw right there. And I was speculating that the selling would continue. So another reason why this trade was lower quality and definitely more risky was because Powell was taking the stage in about 5 minutes from now. And going into the day, I said to my Discord, I was like, I'm going to be really hesitant to take any trades today. We had volatile CPI data in the morning, and then Powell speaking at 9 a.m. Central. And I do not like being in positions or taking positions while someone like Powell is speaking, because if he says one sentence, that can cause a 20-point move in legitimately like 1 second. So I did kind of go against my plan in that way, but this was something that I viewed as a setup. And I did know going into this trade, it was going to have to work out very quickly. It was not going to be something I was going to look to hold for like a runner or anything like that. It was one of those trades where I get in, I want it to happen very quickly, and I get out into strength. So you're going to see me do exactly that. I definitely did execute this trade very well, but it was more of a risky trade for sure. I'm in it short, and my stop loss is right above 54.25. It is placed at 54.50. So now what I really want to see is I want to see aggressive buying volume come in, and I want to see it get sold into. So now this is definitely nothing crazy significant, but you can see that there was more buying volume that was trying to come in on this little leg, and you can see prices remaining below where I invalidated my thesis. So that's a good sign off the rip. And like I said, Powell is taking the stage in like 5 minutes. So this trade was definitely more risky, but I accepted the risk, and I had a small risk of 2.25 points. So that's like 130 point or $130 risk on my account for a potential profit of right around like 500 to 600. So we're waiting around, and you kind of see some more buying volume come in, and price is remaining below this area at 54.25. So what happens is Powell takes the stage, and we basically get a nice like 10, 12 point sell off, maybe even a little more than that. But what I was targeting here is I was targeting the low volume area that was created by aggressive buying, and that started at around 42. And then there was another one right below the 42 area at just around 37. So my first target was at 60.42, just at 10 points for 5 contracts. And then the last 5, I was planning on getting out into strength at some point. At this point, my stop loss is at break even. And I have decided that since this is a trade that's outside of my plan, and also goes against the main volume trend of the day, I was not going to let it go red, and I wanted it to happen immediately. So my stop loss is break even at this point. And one thing I do a lot that I am noticing in my trading is I will move my TP orders up and down. Like, I move them up and down throughout the trade, and it's harder for me to just stick to my initial target. So like I said already, my initial target in this trade is at 60.42, and throughout this trade, you're gonna see the top left P&L box. You're gonna see it turn like gray, and that basically means I'm editing a limit order. So I do that, and I struggle with that because I'm just emotionally fearing that my target will not hit. Speed this up a little bit because nothing really too important happens, but I get out at 42. I actually moved my limit orders up and down, and I said, all right, I'm just going to put it back at 42. I have to stop doing this. So I put it at 42, and I exited at 39, I believe, my last 5 contracts, and I think I kind of skipped. I think I skipped past that. So boom, into this strength, I just decide I'm taking them off. You'll see me click the exit. And that is what happened with the first trade. So the second trade came very shortly after, and I still liked a long. And I believe I tried it long right around here. Or I might have got stopped out right there, actually. All right, so at some point, I took a long after I saw this buying right here. And this is where I wanted to put my stop. I think it's actually more like 39.25 or something. I guess I could just pull it up. My long entry was at 41.50. And my stop loss was at 38.75. So it was right below that buying that I saw right here. So yeah, it was right below that buying that I saw there. But I actually get stopped out, and I mistimed that, and then I decided after I got stopped out that I was going to not take any more trades. In hindsight, I probably could have been more patient for that long entry. And if you guys watched the session today, which I'm sure you did, we rallied up to that target initially that I mentioned to you at 63 to 75. We tapped that, so that long entry at 37 would have paid. But it is what it is, and we got unlimited opportunities in the future. So yeah, please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.